Previously on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror.
Well, hello everybody, yo, it's me, Zankoku, bringing you another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror Lives Again. I always do that lives again thing. Anyways, tonight, episode 28. Oh my goodness, after tonight, there will only be 29, 30, and 31 to go. Wow, this month has gone by really quickly. At least in my feelings. Anyway, so tonight I bring you a review of the movie Phone. It is a Korean horror movie, and it is a really kind of strange ghost tale of love, betrayal, and murder. And so let's get on with it. The main character is a journalist who is writing a series of articles about underage sex scandals, and basically ruffled a lot of feathers. A lot of people got in trouble with that, and because of that, she gets a lot of death threats. She gets a lot of stalkers and things. So she changes her phone number and goes to live in the other house, the second home, I guess, of her friend's husband, who is this big shot CEO. And so to kind of get away, because she's getting harassing phone calls and she's being followed by some creepy guy. And so they said, hey, we got this place, you go stay here, change your phone number. However, she continues to get strange phone calls, and she thinks that it might be that stalker guy, but the phone company has no records of calls coming. And when the daughter of the friend but picks up the phone and answers it, she gets totally disturbed, and perhaps even what you would be considered possessed. So, of course, the journalist tries to figure out what happens. She investigates the phone number that she got, and lo and behold, the last two people who had that phone died mysterious deaths. One died of in a car accident, the other died in a heart attack. In fact, the opening scene of the movie is the one girl, I guess, dying of that heart attack in the elevator. But, so a possessed phone? Actually more like a possessed phone number. But that's not the only thing going on here. And I don't want to talk too much about it because there are two twists in this movie. And I can't get into them too far because otherwise I'll spoil it. However, both of the twists I saw coming, and maybe that might be a little bit of a detriment in the in the movie, but it's definitely an eerie, creepy, ghost-like horror movie, and it's not, you know, like your ultra violent, ultra nasty movie. This is one of those old-fashioned, you know, creepy mood, sort of mystery. However, there's a few things that happen where, you know, I guess she's having like dreams, and when they do flashbacks and things, you're not quite clear that it's happening, and it kind of confuses you a little bit. And then you're wondering, did like this thing just happen, or was she dreaming about this thing? Particularly a scene where this guy fakes an accident, or stabs a detective, kind of like an ambush, and captures her in her car. But instead of, like, you know, killing her there, he decides to take her up to this high place, and she gets, you know, they get in a tussle. Her phone rings, he answers it, and disappears, and she, you know, like wakes up, like in the bath or something, and you're like, well, did that stuff actually happen, or was that just some sort of dream? Or I don't know, a little bit confusing there with that thing. But an eerie movie, creepy, ghostly things going on, and the kid, the possessed kid, was pretty menacing actually in this movie. So let's get to those scores. Violence and gore, 1 out of 5. Not a lot of violence, not a lot of blood, not really much of anything in there. So yeah, 1 out of 5. Shock value, 1 out of 5. I mean, there's some little bit of jump scare trying to happen, but overall, nothing's really that shocking. And I'd give it a higher score, but I saw both twists happening before they actually happened, so that kind of lost some of the shock value for me. But I can respect what they were doing with it, so that's going on to the next score. But once again, 1 out of 5 for shock value. Plot, I give it a 3 out of 5. Definitely an interesting thing, how it is a stalker, and then it's a haunted cell phone and haunted house type of movie. The plot works. It makes sense, and the motives and everything makes sense, and maybe it would have a higher score if it wasn't as obvious as it was going. However, it was enjoyable, and it wasn't all over the place, and it wasn't just like, it didn't lose itself. I mean, sure, there were some parts where, you know, you're not sure if it was a flashback or a dream sequence, or she's reliving based on, you know, what she's hearing from other people. But all in all, it makes sense. It connects the dots, and I don't see any like spots where you go, well, how did this, if this and that, and you know. So solid plot. So 3 out of 5. Acting, this is where I give it the highest score of all the segments. 4 out of 5. I thought that all the characters were pretty good, pretty believable, but the fact that girl was so freaking creepy, and you know, she pulled off sinister. My goodness, if I ever have a daughter, man, I'd be afraid of her if she pulls off that kind of sinister looking. I mean, the thing when she was up at the top of the stairs and she's like asking them which one wants to die for her. You know, I'm just like, get a little freaking girl to do that? Holy shit. So anyways, whatever. 4 out of 5. Nudity, 0.25 out of 5. Why? There's a scene where the journalist is looking through the email, and there's a death threat, and she's the picture of her, and it's like topless. It's fake, but you know, whatever. There's a nipple. 0.25. Bam. Out of 5. Okay. Enjoyment factor, 3 out of 5. You know, I like a little bit more gore. I wish it wasn't as foreseeable, but I can respect the twists, and I enjoyed it for what it is, because it could have been worse, it could have been bad, and I think it kept me wanting to know, and it kept me interested, and I think that's a good thing, especially these type of movies where there's not a lot of that sugarcoating stuff in there. It needs to keep you interested, and it can't, you know, meander. And I mean, it's kind of a long movie. It's about an hour and 40 minutes. Just about, oh, not an hour 40 minutes. Hour and 30, no, about an hour and 40 minutes, yeah. Anyways, so, you know, it could, you know, it's not, it's not a fast-paced movie, but it does the job. So 3 out of 5. And my overall impression is 3.5 out of 5. It's a solid movie, very solid movie, a very good horror movie. I wish it had more gore. That's why my enjoyment factor wasn't as high. And, you know, for some people, they might not see the twist coming. And the twists are pretty good. And it makes sense. But that's probably how logical the movie is that you can think and discover it for yourself. As sometimes those movie twists are like so out of left field that, you know, you kind of have to be like, suspend disbelief to have that, you know, be, because you have to just, you know, make lots of wild jumps. But this one, it's very logical, so I have to, I mean, for a ghost movie, right? Anyway, so there you go. Average score is 2.2 out of 5, which, honestly, because of the lack of violence and the lack of shock value and the lack of nudity, kind of brings the score down. But anyways, I think it's a solid film. Pretty good. One of those mood movies. One of those you want to get into a creepy, eerie mood. This musical score, they Moonlight Sonata a lot. And honestly, there's something a little haunting about that song. So I think it fits. And solid movie. So there you go. The Korean movie, Phone. Check it out if you can. Anyways, so that's it here. There it is. Right here. My Tomie Unlimited. Basically finishing off the Tomie series. My Tomie Unlimited review. Right there. And here is going to be episode 29. What is it going to be? I don't know yet. So stay tuned. I'm sure like all 0 people watching all this are just gonna be, I don't know. Well, we'll see. We will see what it is. And until then, you guys stay scary. And Halloween is just a few days away. So hopefully you get some good tricks and treats. I'll see you later.